विजय दिवस की
Hello. Welcome back to Caffeinated Bike, where it is me who is caffeinated and not the bike. So finally, a Sunday that's free and free for a really good ride. Of late, the weather has been awesome, although it does bring a element of thrill at times because it's rainy. But what comes with rainy weather is pleasant weather, nice cool breeze. Although after wearing all that riding gear, feeling the cool breeze is a bit of a stretch of the imagination. But nevertheless, the overall scenery looks nice. Trees are green. The sky is, well, not exactly blue, but it's not overly bright either. Main thing is the sun is not beating down hard on you with its rays, so it is comfortably very comfortable to move around during these times. So when I got the opportunity to go for the ride to Devanahalli Fort, I was like, yes, now or never, so might as well go. So I'm shooting pretty much all of this using the Insta360 camera. I really love the perspective that this gives me, although it is heavily distorted considering the 360 degree lens. But it gives a very dynamic look to the overall footage. So I decided, let me try this particular lens and see how it pans out. If I like it, I'll probably use more of it. Anyway, you guys can always let me know what do you think. While going towards the meeting spot, so the meeting spot was just a few meters after the maybe a kilometer or two after the airport toll gate. So we met over there as usual as one of the early ones, but nevertheless met a few of the riders there. Had a quick hot cup of coffee. Goes without saying, considering the fact that the channel's name is Caffeinated Bike, so gotta caffeinate, right? Anyway, from there we drove off to quite a distance. There is this one tiffin center. Think of it like a breakfast joint. If I remember correctly, I think it is called Babu Hotel or Babu Tiffin Center. It's one of those. Small joint, but you should see the rush. I mean, goes without saying, just see the amount of people waiting to get their order. So you'll get, very traditional South Indian fare over here, very well made. Your typical ghee with idli. That's right, ghee with idli, but very tasty. Same thing with dosa, vada. That is what we tried over there. Then had a cup of tea, and then we were back on the road. So part of being on a breakfast ride is that you have to have breakfast also, right? So that was a breakfast part of the ride. Now we are riding off towards the fort. It's quite a ride from this small little hamlet. Once you're out of this populated area, we hit this main road. I don't know if it's a highway or what it is, but what I loved about it is that it's got greenery on both sides of the road, not heavy traffic, so you can peacefully just keep cruising along. And for some of this footage, I'll probably keep quiet and let you enjoy the sound of Himalayan 450's engine revving away. I enjoyed it. I hope you'll enjoy it too, but I find it very therapeutic. So enjoy.
Us to be real.
that you have enjoyed that engine sound. This is the part where we start nearing the fort entrance, and right off the bat you can see just how massive this wall is. The entrance is it's quite narrow. I was wondering how did people manage to settle through this narrow opening. I don't know if there's a secondary opening into this fort, but yeah, there's a sizable amount of settlement inside this. A lot of ancient temples as well, like you can see over here. So close to this you can actually park your vehicles. So we did that, and then we walked into the fort. All right, now I have the camera on the selfie stick, and you have this really very old steps. You have to walk carefully. I imagine if you have slippery boots or something, you got to be careful, because these are granite stones. Here it seems fairly regular, but as you walk, like you can see, it's like just general ground itself. Again, some stones to climb on, but you got to be careful. And this is one of my favorite parts. Just look at the way this wall is straight, but see how it curves just because of the 360-degree lens. Really tall walls, and in a few seconds you will see one interesting feature of this fort wall. It's got sections where people can sort of congregate. It's almost like a semicircular area. Yeah, you see one over here, but there are some people there, so we thought we'll go further ahead and see if there's a similar place where we can sort of hang out. Now if you notice on the side, you can see a lot of houses. So that's the settlement I was talking about. So you have this wall creating the perimeter, and then beyond the walls you have this great big lake. And this lake and this wall is actually visible from the main road. If you're going towards Nandi Hill, you will actually be able to see a part of this wall from there. But seeing from the road won't give you an idea just how huge this place is. So yeah, we were walking, and here's another interesting part of this wall. You have this cutout sections where I guess guards would be able to sort of stand and see or something. Yeah, here's one good isolated spot that we found for ourselves. A whole group of bikers, well, we need a place to hang out, right? So we found this place. I was just kind of exploring what's all this. And it's got that very typical design of these ancient forts, where you would have these walls, but there would be a specific wall, sort of a hole in the wall. So I was just trying to see what the view is. So I put the camera through it, and yeah, it gives a fairly expansive view of what's outside. I can only imagine that maybe if you have a gun or something, you can sort of poke through that and shoot, or maybe shoot arrows. I don't know what people did during those days. I can only guess, because there was no one to sort of tell us what this thing is and all that. So you can always use imagination. But yeah, so we were just hanging around over here. I was checking out what it looks like through the lens, because the wall is too tall for me to sort of even look past it unless you sort of climb into these cutouts. Some of the guys did that. They were just chilling out over there, but I had other plans which I'll show in a moment, so I did not climb over there. I was just walking onto the camera. Anyway, there you go, some people hanging out, talking, I don't know what. I was not paying attention. But yeah, the whole point was that we, as part of this IRC group of riders, we were planning what we need to do for the Save Earth ride. So that's on the 24th of August 2025. So if you are interested of saving the earth, planting a sapling, that's a plan. Typically we plant a sapling. If you're interested into that, please do join us. The details will be shared shortly. I'll update the description when I find more details, so you can circle back to this video whenever you can. Anyway, so discussions are going on, people sitting really far, screaming and shouting. No one knows what's happening, so I think this was just a warm up of sorts for people to just sort of relax after a good long ride and heavy breakfast. By the way, if you have ghee in your dosa and idli, that does sort of feel a bit heavy on the stomach. So you do need to relax a little bit. But the good part is at least it keeps you full for a little longer. At least that's how it works for me. Anyway, finally everyone decided that sitting so far away is not going to cut it. If we really want to discuss, so everyone came close. We had a circular discussion, and here you can see some serious talks are happening. A lot of finger pointing in a good way. So yeah, overall I think we discussed some pretty important points. I was even able to get some sound bites from everyone over here about what do they think about say Worth Ride, and what do they want us to do, what have they done in the past in these rides, all of that. So those things will keep coming out in the coming days, so watch out for that. I've already put out my soundbite. Anyway, once that was done and we realized there's nothing more to do, so we got back on the bikes, drove out, and we felt, why don't we sort of stop for another tea break. So there's one tea stall that comes just after the airport toll gate. So we decided we'll sort of go over there and chill out for a little bit and have tea. So with that, I'll leave you once again with the Himalayan's engine sound, and I'll keep quiet for now. So this is the tea stall that's just after the airport toll. It's very close to it. Not much rush over there, so we all were able to park our bikes pretty comfortably and enjoy some tea. Well, me being the coffee nutcase, I took coffee, but this little cup of coffee felt so nice after I won't say a long day, but fairly good way to start a Sunday. And on the way back, something was on my mind. You see, in the group that I ride with, there are different kinds of bikes. Some of it quite elaborate, some of it pretty normal, but we have a whole spectrum of bikes. So my mind was asking, who is a biker anyway? Maybe in the next vlog I'll maybe elaborate on that. Let me know if you want to hear my thoughts on who do I think is a biker. But anyway, for now, I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Like, share and subscribe if you feel like it. I hope you have a good day. Goodbye.